Alright. Should be. I think we're live. Think. We're gonna go to Twitch even though I'm here. Yep, there we go, okay. Oh god, but it's laggy. Okay. Where's Bungie? Bungie! Alright. Then you put this on. Even though I probably won't be able to hear like jack crap. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. Think. Why am I not getting? No. There we go. That's what I wanted. Can go like this. So I'm still trying to set some of this stuff up. No capture. Is that going to? No, it's not. Okay. We're just gonna have to do it like this, I guess. 0 hour. Alright. Can I actually just do full screen? Yeah, we're just gonna full screen it. And I'm just gonna pull up the stream on my phone so I can watch your guys's so I can watch you guys and see what you guys are saying. Alright, 49. Dude, the trailer for this is like really freaking exciting. Like, I'm really hyped for this. I also have work in like an hour, like 2 hours. So, I gotta hope this goes by quickly or else I'm gonna have to stop the stream soon. I'll have to stop at like 2:15. And the reason I'm wearing a beanie is because I quite literally took a shower before this. So, okay. I'm gonna go into this. I'm just gonna... Filters. I need to mess with this. Can I do that? And if I do smoothness, that's probably as good as I'm gonna get. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. And I tried to get it full screen, but like, it's just acting weird. Actually, hold on. I can just do this. No, I can't. Joe Blackburn. What is it? Who is that? Joe Blackburn and
Morning, everyone.
can't remember. Who?
Mark, and we're coming
Mark.
here
Oh,
from the Bungie Studios.
I forgot the other guy. I forgot Luke's name.
Yeah, it is. If you've been on the internet the last few days, it is the leakiest shit on the internet.
Yes, it is.
So what we've got today, we've got a cool show lined up for you. Behind us, you can see Dado getting ready. Dado, Ben, and Catherine.
Wait, Dado?
Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, which is the next chapter coming out this fall. But first, let's take a look at it.
Yes, this trailer is awesome. I love this trailer.
To the future always brings us back to the past. Can you feel them? I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes.
I'm gonna do
all
this.
known. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked has awakened. We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or
Bungie's gone truly independent and is in complete control of Destiny's future. We're publishing the game now. We're an independent company. Now what? What's the plan? Where are we headed?
So the way that we talk about where we're headed is like the way we've talked about over the years is what's the vision for what we're trying to do. And so the vision for Destiny going forward, the Destiny franchise, is contained in like 3 parts. The first part is being an awesome action MMO. And
we've been worried about that term for a long time. We've shied away from using
MMO.
that. Yeah, because it comes with a lot of baggage. It's like, does that mean it's a subscription game, or you got to play with a mouse and keyboard or whatever? But like, man, this is one of those things. We're on our own now, and it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Like we can accept the fact that this is what the game.
There's like duck emojis out in the chat right now. But like when we say MMO,
Is there actually?
We don't mean subscriptions. We do mean 2 things. The first part where we're lacking right now, and we
Ducks.
Yeah, we really want
Oh my lord.
customization for our players and for your characters. You're creating these monster killing machines, and you want to make them your own, and we can do a lot more there.
So a bunch of what we're doing this fall is going to be about adding the stats back into the game, RPGing the game more than it was. And D2 launched away, Forsaken improved it, and we think Shadowkeep's going to take that kind of to the next level. The second part about what we mean when we say RPG is really important to us. It's about improving social. Like this is a place where it can be hard to find grouping, it can be hard to make friends in Destiny, and what we've been saying for years as we've been like dodging the MMO term is like it's a game best played with your friends. And so this is one of the things that on the long horizon of the Destiny franchise, like we have to improve the social game.
Yeah, like, and I just want to take a moment to say, this isn't changing anything about the core action game of Destiny. Like, it is so fun and amazing to shoot monsters in their heads, get headshots, and see their souls escaping their body, and you just slip behind cover. Like, at its core, Destiny is an action game. But we're also not afraid to say it's an action MMO, and that's where we're headed. We're taking steps there this year.
And so part 1 of the vision, awesome action MMO. Part 2 of the vision for Destiny going forward is a single evolving world. And we have been close to the mark in some ways and far off in others. The way we've been close is stuff like what happened in Forsaken when Raid Team goes into the Dreaming City, they kill Riven, and they launch this Dreaming City cycle that like transforms the world. And we think that's awesome, and we want to do more things like that.
When the community gets to come together and discover secrets and solve problems and push the world forward and push that narrative forward, that's when the game really feels like it's not a game, but a real world. For people who don't know some of where I came from, in my time in WoW, the Scarab Lord Gates opening event was this moment that brought these huge communities together. I've never heard of that.
It became this awesome event, and I think the potential of what we're trying to do with Destiny is create moments like that create bonds between players and let players work together to change the world. The third part of the vision here is play it anywhere.
Yeah, we want you to be able to play Destiny anytime, anywhere with your friends. And we're definitely going to take steps here this year. And the first one.
Well, I don't know which first you want to do. Like we're just coming off of the Stadia announcement, which is our partnership with Google.
Yeah. So with Stadia, Destiny 2 is coming to Stadia this year, which is going to be awesome because it means you're going to be able to play Destiny anywhere you have a Chrome browser with their controller, and that's going to be just incredible for our community.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Lug your PS4 home to your mom's place at Christmas.
Wait.
In case Zura's selling One-Eyed Mask or whatever.
Does that mean?
You know who's been talking about this all the time? It's like Scott Taylor, constantly talking about where he's gonna play. Can't wait to play on my. It just lists a litany of devices that he wants to play. He wants to play Destiny on.
And that story's just cracked wide open with Stadia. So we're super excited about that because it lets you literally play anywhere.
So it's a great fit for the vision. And then the next thing, do you want to just jump? We have like our set list. And so the next thing on the list, there's been a little bit of talk about over the last 24 hours. Like maybe you want to talk about cross save.
So yeah, cross save is coming to Destiny.
Yes.
Finally, and we're super excited about that. What cross save is, it is about taking Guardians that you've created and being able to play them on any platform. And we are super excited about that, and we know fans have been asking for a long time. And
yes! I finally will be able to play on PC. Yes!
Cross-save is coming to all platforms.
Yes!
All PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Stadia. And
there's some
people clapping in the studio.
That is, we do not have an applause site. That's just the enthusiasm of the game.
So we're super excited about
yes!
Sony are working together to ensure that cross-save is coming to PS4 when Shadowkeep launches.
For like years, we would go to do interviews with companies. We'd like dodge this question so many times about like, which platform do you play on? Which platform should you play on?
Play wherever your friends are.
Our answer has always been like, we're gonna like message back to like, the best place to play Destiny is where your friends are. But cross save makes that statement actually true, because you can go from PC to PS4 and wherever you want to play the game, wherever your group's rating is where you can play.
So you've probably seen reports on the internet, and that may be different to this. There's a reason we do these shows live. So.
It's for the really awkward.
Yeah.
It's for us like stammering back and forth. So the next thing on our list here, do you want to talk? Let's talk about
new
entry point.
When we think of anytime, anywhere, that third part of the vision, cross save, Stadia, those are parts of it. But we have some real barriers to making that totally true and really making that a reality. When Forsaken came out last year, for instance, look in the first-party stores. There's like 9 different versions of the game. You need like some kind of decoder ring to figure out what you're supposed to purchase. It's like just way too confusing to figure out what you're supposed to buy.
So the reason, our answer to this like big problem is, what if we just create a free entry point for the game and create a brand new way for players to, a brand new-ish way for players to enter the universe, but there's still this problem of, oh gosh, I've got like 40 hours of game to play. I've got to like get through these campaigns, which are cool, but that's not really the part of the game that matters if you're playing for hardcore reasons.
In the season of Opulence, Menagerie just came out. It's a 6-player match-made activity. It's awesome. I love playing it. But if I'm going to recommend it to a friend who's not playing Destiny, it's like, well, you got to buy this version of the game, and you buy this other version of the game, and you got to play all that. And I'm not going to play with you because you're doing old stuff. And so it's going to take, it becomes hard to recommend. So we need to fix that.
So the answer to this problem is New Light, where once you enter New Light, in 10, 15, 20 minutes, you now arrive at the part of the game that matters to you and your friends, where you're like jumping into Gambit, Crucible, etc. This is about crushing the barriers between friends and making it a game where you're like, there's something awesome happening in Destiny. I'm going to go check it out. And New Light's totally free.
It's free. You download New Light, create this character. Within 15 minutes, you're playing Gambit with your bros or running around the EDZ and discovering lost sectors. Like, you're having a really fun time.
So the other part of this handshake is the way we're thinking about selling the game differently now. We have, for years, had this like compounding purchase model, even something like the annual pass, which I think we've learned a bunch from, and we have plans for how we're going to iterate on it over time. It meant that up front you had to spend $35 rather than maybe purchasing things a la carte, and that strategy is a strategy that we're changing now that we're in control.
Yeah, if you think of New Light like a baseline, we're thinking of our content kind of like atomic packages that go on top of that. So Destiny 2 Shadowkeep is completely standalone. It's an expansion pack and it's standalone. It's an expandalone, I guess is what you would call it.
Don't need to play Forsaken. You don't need to play Curse of Osiris, Warmind. You don't have to have played Drifter. None of it.
You buy it and you jump right in. But we want to do that with seasons too. And so going forward, our seasons, you're going to be able to jump in and have a great free experience, and that's awesome. But if you want that, access to some of the premium content, you can jump in and buy that season, season 8 separately from season 9.
Yep. So another part that we have had trouble with over the years is answering questions around things like exclusive content. We have had exclusive activities, exclusive weapons, things like this, and those things violate kind of that second part of the vision, which is that single evolving world. So going forward and beginning this fall,
single community of players where everyone can be together, but you're like, well, let's play this strike. Well, sorry, I don't have that strike on my box.
So we want to remove those barriers, and now going forward, there's going to be no more exclusive activity content, no exclusive gameplay things like exotic weapons. We're not doing any of that stuff.
So
yes.
There's one more thing.
Thank you.
Before we're done, is that
Thank you.
Destiny 2 on PC needs to find a new home.
Some would say we need to find an epic partner.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So we need to find a new home, and because we're self-publishing Destiny now, and we're truly on our own, and so Destiny 2 is going to be.
It's gonna be on the Epic Games.
And
Oh.
This means that
Oh.
anyone currently playing Destiny 2, they're going to be able to come over to Steam, free of charge. They're going to continue their accounts. They're going to continue all their possessions. Going to move over. Any licenses they had, any DLC, like whatever, it all comes over. And Shadowkeep, the D2 expansion that's coming out this fall, is going to be shipping exclusively on Steam this year.
It's kind of like when you relocate for a job, and they relocate you, and like a van shows up at your house and loads all your stuff, and then takes it. And you show up at your new house, and it's all there. But this time we're gonna like unpack it and move you over to Steam.
How exactly this is all going to happen? There's going to be a website on Bungie net somewhere that describes it in more detail. But we want the transition to be really seamless for players and a really good experience.
So a thing that we want to try to do to wrap all of this up is like do the like Instagram cut down version of everything we just talked about in like 20 seconds. So the vision for Destiny going forward is pretty simple. It's an awesome action MMO in a single evolving world that you can play anywhere. By playing anywhere, that means cross save.
And I'm pretty sure this is unscripted. They've maybe practiced this a little bit, but like
called Destiny 2 New Light, which is free, and everything we add to the game is going to be purchased a la carte going forward. So Shadowkeep, Season 8. Let's say in Season 8 we start to lay the foundation for some changes we want to make to PvP. It doesn't tempt you to come back yet. Well, maybe in Season 9 we'll have something that's going to make you want to come back for sure. No more exclusives going forward for us in terms of gameplay and armor and weapons. And if you're playing the game on PC, we're moving you to Steam. That's kind of like that's the end of the set list. The encore, if we're carrying the music thing forward, is this awesome?
I think it's more than an encore.
Sure, yeah, actually, we're the opening act.
Yeah, they've been watching two dudes talk to you for 12 minutes or whatever.
So, the main event
13.
is coming up. Dato's behind us getting ready. But first, let's take a look at a new Vidoc called Out of the Shadows.
Out of the shadow. This is gonna be cool. Yo.
This really is the beginning of a new era, and I think beginning is an important part of that sentence.
D1.
The first time I think that, in a long time that Bungie has stood kind of on its own.
What was that?
And we're self-publishing. It's a really big deal.
Whoa.
There's a huge opportunity here for us to really make our own decisions.
It's a turning point for us.
We are in charge of our own destiny.
It's empowering and terrifying at the same time.
There are only two groups who are going to decide what happens to Destiny next. Bungie and the players who play Destiny.
That's a good way to run a business, in my opinion. Yo. What? What? What do you mean the darkness is closer than I think? What? Whoa. Why does some of that stuff look that was Siva, I think.
So
Or
at its core,
AC/DC
Shadowkeep
feedbacks,
is about
possibly.
returning to the moon.
We haven't been in the moon in a while since Destiny 1, and a lot's changed.
Really?
When you go back, it isn't exactly what you thought it was.
There's like huge cracks ripped into it. There's a weird scarlet fortress. And so the context of the moon has been updated entirely.
This isn't just about the hive anymore.
Was that
Now
Tanix?
something terrible.
Yo. Is that Tanix?
The moon this time around is something really scary that is playing on your fear in a way that hasn't happened before. Before it was
Oh my
it's a
lord,
really
is that
scary thing, it's
D2?
scary, but now there's actual like some
Yo.
psychological elements to that.
We're actually going back to like the actual moon area. Nothing
Has
really
it sat in
changed.
silence, watching us. Much too long.
Having Eris Morin come back instantly signals to players the tone, shift, and change.
This is gonna be dark. Because we know Eris Morin. Like, Eris Morin is gonna make this thing dark. What?
We want to tap into what makes Guardians afraid. What are their worst fears? Shadowkeep refers to the things that Eris unleashed.
Oh!
Nightmares are manifestations of a Guardian's past.
What if the villains that you thought were well into the ground actually weren't, and they were being resurrected by the darkness?
Crota fan.
Eris is trying to figure out how she unleashed this kind of madness, and so she needs your help.
Yo.
You can't just kill them and make them go away.
What if you can't do all of the things that you've grown accustomed to doing?
Being unable to achieve what you're trying to achieve, no matter how hard you try.
Players, they think we can deal with this. We killed Crota, like we killed orcs. Like, no big deal, right? Well, you're gonna get there and you discover it's a bigger deal than you even thought it could be.
The darkness is actually a lot closer than you realized.
now you know my suffering.
Yo.
It's been a year basically of just a constant two-way dialogue with all of our passionate players.
Under it or on the sides of it more?
The number of green that's really informed what it is that players want out of the Destiny game and how we're evolving, not just the story of the world, but what happens to you as a Guardian.
The thing that's supposed to blow you back or whatever, it's related to acceleration.
A bunch of the work that we're doing is about adding depth to the character sheet. You know, the teams are thinking about how do we want to evolve armor, get more stats into the game, get more player customization. How can we get the depth of pursuit for how you want to play with this awesome character you've been building now for, you know, some of us 5 years.
And like completely new ways of deepening the like character RPG that we all know and love and want to be better.
Building your monster killing machine. What?
In Shadowkeep, we are fundamentally evolving the systems and moving the world forward.
You want to bring some of that sci-fi element back to it. Where it's
some like panels
or
something. We've been dancing this line between of like, are we RPG enough? Are we not RPG enough? And now we're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all in and just say like, let's give players what they want.
What? What was that?
Customize the players and their habits and their game modes and all that stuff as much as they want to.
So in Shadowkeep, what we're doing is changing the way that armor, perks, and mods work pretty significantly.
Right now in the game, if you have an armor set that you like the look of, but you have another armor set that you like the way it plays, you're probably going to pick the one that you like the way it plays.
Armor 2.0 is focused on allowing you to take the mods that you've unlocked and apply them to any given piece of armor.
When I move my cursor over one of these mod sockets, it immediately shows me all of the mods that are available to me.
Personally, I'm excited about the artifact. Players just get to kind of like fidget with these knobs and switches and do all the things that they want to do.
When you get to this last tier, each of these perks gets relatively close to what an exotic might feel like. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Finishing moves are a new thing for Shadowkeep. What's your favorite?
I mean, there's some crazy ones. For the hunter, this awesome flourish where he actually stands in front of him, has two knives, and then just hits.
Boom, boom. Yes, he made the sound. Yo.
Yeah, Titan finisher. He jumps in the air, pulls back, looks at his fist, and
Yes. Yo.
it's kind of like the dunk. There's so many different ways to dunk. You can behind the back, 360, cartwheel, whatever.
Yes. Dude, I'm excited.
In the playtest lab every day, trying to figure out what's good for the game, what do people want, what have they been asking for, trying new ideas.
So I want to try. I added radar hiding.
Let me know how it feels to get shot by the heavy bow. I am working on
Heavy bow?
an exotic heavy bow. And I'm just working on figuring out some knockback, trying to see how big this. Okay, that's probably too much, but you get the idea.
Whoa!
It's an exotic trace rifle. Fire it on an enemy and it creates a big old crit spot. Here's a hand cannon that Victor's working on. It fires special ammo, and it's a little bit like a one-handed sniper.
Like, it's actually our only hand cannon with a scope on it. Right now, it kind of lights you on fire if you keep firing it too much. We'll see. Some people like it, some people are kind of but we'll hammer it all out. Alright, it's time. It's about to get loud in here. 1v1. 1v1 on the board.
1v1. Come on! Come on!
One of the things we really want to focus on.
Yo, that was Witch's Court. I think Witch's Court is back.
Shadowkeep is a renewed focus on PvP.
You're all on the team.
We're updating labs to include some much loved game.
Yeah,
modes from
that's
the
Witch's.
past.
That was
We're
Witch's
also
Court.
redoing a bunch of the playlists and how they work, but The really important thing for players to know is this is just the beginning. This is us building the foundation of what we're doing.
Yo, we're getting Witch's Court back. Alright. Let's go. I'm down.
Previously, you would have a 20, 40, 60-hour climb before you could
What
do
was
what's considered in-game
that?
content. And now you can pretty much do that immediately.
We want you
I
to
kinda
feel
like that.
you're in the end game from the moment you step on the planet.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Leveling up your Guardian and becoming more powerful, overcoming dungeons, overcoming raids.
For the raid, we had multiple destinations that we were considering, and Black Garden was like immediately top of the list.
And everyone was like, yeah.
So we're going to the black. So we're going to the Black Garden. We're going to the Black Garden for the raid.
With Forsaken, we've started finding more ways for players to customize and personalize their character and differentiate
AJ.
themselves. Shadowkeep's going to push even further in that direction.
Tanix.
The word,
A
which is
boyo.
really adding us in a bunch of ways, is depth. It's about experiential depth. When we look at how we're thinking about the next 3-5 years, it's really important to us.
It's cool to have a game that you can invest in with your friends, tweak your monster killing machine and make it 2% better every weekend, doing different things and figuring out how to craft this perfect build that you feel like is your own. Like, that is cool. There's nothing nerdy about it. We're like happy to own that. We're gonna stand on that corner.
God, I'm excited. I'm excited.
As things change, if the game doesn't feel like it's changing to meet the new landscape, it just all fall down. Part of our DNA is finding different ways to bring people together. We needed a way to crush the barriers between friends.
We all have friends who could play Destiny, who are interested in it, but then we think about recommending it like, oh man, you're gonna have to play about 40 hours by yourself, and then you're gonna pay all this money, and you know, maybe you should just play something else. And that can't be the story. We need an entry point for your friends to be able to get into Destiny.
This is just simply about bringing people together to make it easy for players to enter this universe.
There's a new entry point coming out in September called New Light, and New Light is a free-to-download experience.
We're going to start off in the same place where Guardians first came into the world.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. Word. You're alive.
You started in the Cosmodrome.
You're going back.
Going back. Yeah, blast from the past.
Okay.
Yo.
We're going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city.
It's as easy as come in, make a character, play the amazing introduction to the game, and then land in the tower.
And then we'll set them loose to open up the world as they see fit.
And have sort of an array of potential in front of you.
You can just start playing the game and get into some of the same activities that your friends might be playing. The campaigns from D2 Year 1, the Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind.
Every world we have will be available for them to explore and to free roam and to do bounties on. Every cooperative strike, whether they're playing with friends or matchmaking, every competitive multiplayer map.
The D2 Year 1 raids like Leviathan.
Full access to Gambit, the hybrid mode that we have. All these things are available to them for nothing.
I actually like that. Because it makes it so I can actually recommend that to my friends now.
You play it with your friends, and we're trying to make it easier. So if your friends who are playing Destiny are on different platforms, we're adding cross saves so that you can move between the different platforms and play wherever your friends are.
Like if I'm playing and I want to move over to my PC, I should have my character go with me. We want Destiny to meet you wherever you want to play. So that's incredibly important for us.
We wanted cross save before we shipped Destiny 2, right? Like a bunch of it was built. We just couldn't get there for capital R reasons, and many of those reasons have disappeared. So we are headed full steam ahead on that. We got to figure out how we're going to get there and how we're going to give the players what they want.
As culture as we can get. Thanks, buddy. Our original vision for Destiny was a
was a world that would evolve and change.
We're leaning really hard into that because we believe that's where the future of Destiny is.
The long horizon for Destiny is to become an evolving world. You know, you're going to tune in to see what's going to happen next.
We can completely build Destiny in the vision that we want it to be in. A vision that isn't dictated by a commercial model or a business plan, but our creative vision and what we want to do for our players and what they want us to do with Destiny.
I feel like our work isn't done. We have a series of missions that we need to finish before I think we have Destiny in the place that it needs to be, and we're back to, I guess, finish the fight, so to speak.
This does put a smile on my face.
Welcome, gamers, to the Q&A portion of the stream. Someone's very enthusiastic back there. There we go. There's a bunch more enthusiasm. Welcome to the Q&A portion of the stream. If you know who I am, you're probably pretty familiar with me doing Q&A stuff. If you don't know who I am, I'm here to embarrass myself in front of thousands of people for the second time in a week. And I'm also your personal Destiny search engine. Most people just call me Dado. I have a lot of these, by the way. I don't think I have time to read all of them. I am here. That was really, really loud. I'm here with Ben and Catherine, and we're gonna talk. A little story action for Shadowkeep.
Great.
And the first thing I'm gonna start with is Eris evil? Because she kind of seemed evil, but at the same time, like not evil, like sort of in a driftery way. Talk to me.
Eris is definitely not your sterling like character like Savannah.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Right.
Cora. She's more complicated. She's been through a lot. She's this enigmatic, like mysterious character with tons of power. It's always on the edge of every new threat that's coming. And so she's decidedly not evil. I can say that pretty firmly. And what she is the one who's going to take us into a new threat and a new place that we have to actually investigate. Because she's come back. She's been gone for a long time. And there's been a lot of parts of the Eris story that we've gotten hints at. You know, we've seen lore books. We've gotten, like, seen what she did after the tower blew up. We knew that she went off. We know that she's worked with Marisov for a long time. And well, all those journeys that she's done have brought her back to the moon. A moon that we thought we had, like, left behind, that we had killed the threats there. Well, she's discovered something even darker in the dark below.
The dark below. I see what you did there. Dark below.
Dark below.
Didn't drop my pen. Speaking of Marisov and all that, I'll pose this question to you. Is this connected to any of the events of Forsaken? Is this connected tomorrow? Are we going to see any sort of link between the two?
We aren't talking about Mara specifically in Shadowkeep.
Okay.
This is an Eris story, but like what we're doing here is we like the Dreaming City was a really fun.
That was weird.
Way of exploring like the deep lore of Destiny, right? Like we had Truth to Power, and we had all of the curse weeks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I was definitely
Marisov vignettes.
Marisov vignettes. So this is like we want to do that, but like for Eris, right? Like we want to just go in there and be like, there's so much stuff. Like you said, she's a super enigmatic character. Like she could totally appear to be evil. Like she uses the powers of darkness.
There definitely have some audio issues.
Right.
Like why? Like what is all that?
Yeah, and she's doing it to protect humanity. That is like her mission she's had for a long time. And if you think back, Eris's entire journey, what happened to her? Her fire team was like slaughtered by Crota, and she barely survived and to transform herself. And she crawled back to like rally people to destroy this threat that would have consumed the last city and all of the rest of humanity. And then she saw Oryx was coming too, and she worked with all these forces that players and everyone else in the city had no idea were even around to try to stop it. You know, she does things that no one else can, and she's doing that one more time.
Well, she's persevering a lot. I feel like eventually just like get over it. Like fire team's dead, but you know we got Crota, right? Like give it up, lady. But
I think that's like not fair entirely, maybe because
no, I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Forsaken real quick. are we getting any hints of like what's going on with Aldrin and Marsov? Like Aldrin, we kind of got like a cutscene, and then it's like, all right, that's it, and then there's no resolution on that at all.
I would love to sit here and talk about Aldrin. That's a conversation for another time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to turn back to Eris on the moon because I'm just super excited by what we're actually going to expose. Because it's not just what Eris is doing there right now. It's not just about this new threat. It's not just about nightmares, which are now infesting our moon. It's about the history there, and it's about what's changed since you were last there. The moon that we remember from people who played Destiny 1, a lot has happened since they've were last there.
Well, that was actually one of my next questions is how is the moon different compared to Destiny 1 now? Because we had the Hellmouth, and that was, pretty intricate design for the hive and everything. How is that changing in Shadowkeep? Because a lot of people are going to say, we've already been to the moon. Like,
well, it's twice as big as the moon you remember.
Yeah.
Twice as big.
Twice as big. And as you might see, there's a giant red citadel now.
Yeah.
Looming threats. And there's mysterious entities, nightmares that are pushing out everywhere. There's also smaller stories that have been uncovered because of all of this this chaos and happening in that place. The Fallen have a new place that they've set up, and they have their own reasons for doing that. The cracks have divided places you've been before, and they're going to change how you play in you Sparrow and move through them. And you're going to discover old stories from who knows how long ago with characters that you remember, and they're going to expose more of what actually is coming in the future.
Are we going to see any potential new characters popping in?
Well, there's one of my favorite characters. I'm not going to say it though because it's spoilers.
Okay, fine.
I'm not going to tell you that.
That's fine.
There's a ton of what this character does, and I read through all the scripts and I thought it was really awesome.
Okay, then all right, consider me intrigued. I guess one of the final questions I have is why this storyline as opposed to any other storyline that you guys might have considered? So
we have internally, Bungie is a lot like the players in that we're always talking about Destiny as fans, because we are fans of our own game. We're fans first of Destiny, and Moon is a fan favorite inside the studio. And so it always comes up, okay, well, we're going back to the moon. What about the moon? We just don't go there anymore. We should go back. What's been happening on the moon? Wait, is that on the moon? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It turns into this fervor and excitement that, okay, we're going back to the moon. How do we make that work?
Right.
And the thing about every Destiny destination is you play through what we can release and what we can show and the stories that we have, but there's always more. There's always another horizon or another deep depth or another entire region that is not yet explored. And I consider every place we go in Destiny to have more stories that are just waiting for us to find the right time to tell.
Absolutely.
The moon has some great stories.
Yeah, I will have some follow-up questions related to story stuff later in the show, but that is just something I kind of wanted to know, why this one? Were you guys working on maybe other storylines that maybe just didn't work out, or you want let's save that for later, or maybe we scrap that all together, or was it just this is happening?
I'm sorry if I'm not talking. I'm sorry I'm not talking much, guys. I really want to listen so I can talk about it later, possibly.
I think we're constantly
So.
As he said, we're all players of this game, and we're all like, oh man, yeah, what is happening on the moon, and what is happening to all these stories that we've been exploring for a while, and it's just something. It's whatever is most exciting to us at any given time.
Yeah, and I think it's a relatable feeling that we're going after too. I mean, the moon is a place that was very dear to a lot of players' hearts, but it's also new to a lot of other players. And so I consider it you take your best friend back to your hometown. You haven't been there in 5 years, and what's changed? What has been torn down? What new is there? What still remains? You're going to explore it. You'll be like, oh, my favorite Chinese place is gone, and now it's an organic grocery store. No, I'm going to go buy all the lettuce. You're going to have. There's going to be these moments where you're going to rediscover something, and it's going to have meaning for you, and then it's going to have meaning for your friends.
That makes no sense.
It's also really exciting on top of New Light too, right? Because Moon was the big destination in old D1, and you're just okay, yes, we're going there. Or I'm gonna bring all my friends there. I can bring anyone there.
I was even calling New Light First Light for a while, and First Light was the big moon map.
Right, exactly.
You make a little look at First Light, just a little bit when you're running around the moon.
Oh, look forward to it.
Big nostalgia factor.
All right, do you guys have anything else to add?
What's going on in the
before we,
background?
Transition here.
One thing, when you said to talk about Marisov, The thing that I really loved about Dreaming City as someone who played it at home was going to the vignettes and every few weeks. And we really loved how that was a new piece of Destiny, like the Streaming City cycle type of thing, and how you play it. And we're trying to instill those lessons into Shadowkeep as well.
Gotcha.
So look for cool lore drops like that over time, similarly to Dreaming City.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys very, very much for joining me.
Thanks.
We're gonna rotate you guys out for some new guys, and don't forget to take your mug.
Yep.
Oh.
Otherwise, I get yelled at.
My mug, you can't have it.
All right. Fair enough. Next to the stage, we have Justin and Dell. Welcome. Welcome. You guys, I have to grill you guys a little bit more than the story guys. The story guys like, yeah, let's have a fun little intro. But now we're getting into systems and the seasons and that kind of stuff, real nitty gritty. So I got to grill you guys a little bit more. So let's start with
Okay.
Sandbox.
I'm gonna grab a snack real quick. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna keep the stream going. I'm gonna be down there, so I'll be seeing what's going on. So I'll be back.
Are there any plans to change that? And are there any barriers to more frequent updates?
Well, we made the commitment to do a change every season to really look at the sandbox and how it was playing, and so we're going to keep that. Like we think that's a good cadence every season. There's like some big update to the sandbox and how it's playing, make you rethink how you're building your monster killing machine.
Okay.
The real hard part is it takes time to do those balance updates. Like we have to look at data, the team has to get in the play test, we're looking at the community feedback, we're like trying to isolate how we balance it, and it's in a game like Destiny, it's big, so it's not just like balance it for one activity, it's like how do we balance it in strikes, what's the impact over here? And so it takes time, and whenever we're taking time doing that, we're not building content. And so it's just a hard balance for us to find like, hey, what's the right amount of focusing on balancing and tuning, what's the right amount about making new rewards and pursuits, and adding the depth that we talked about earlier. Like, we want to update some of the systems, and we want to like make the game more interesting and like add more challenge in the game. How do we do that? It's hard to balance those.
Okay, that's fair. Another kind of big topic question. Are there any plans to completely separate PvE and PvP balancing? I know you guys are capable of adjusting the damage of weapons in PvE. Do you feel like there's a need for that separation? Is there a reason why you haven't? I imagine if there is not going to be a separation, it's probably related to the same reasons you guys have been giving in the past. Your thoughts?
So a thing that we've always thought was super important for Destiny is that you have a single Guardian with a single kit and set of abilities that you can take everywhere. We give you a bunch of different experience, whether it's like raid experiences or strike experiences or PvP or just more casual like free roam, and that you're the same Guardian playing in the same way. And a thing that I think we do pretty well is our shooting and our like gunplay feels good. And part of the reason why it feels good is that muscle memory of like just the same expectation of seamlessly going from your brain into the controller, like into the bullet. And that requires a level of consistency across the board. That doesn't mean that shooting a Thrall in the head is going to take the exact same number of bullets as shooting a Guardian in the head. There is some variance that we bake in and some balancing that we do, but we don't want to split them, because we think if we do that over time, it's going to cause us to lose that muscle memory and that feeling of a single Guardian.
Yeah, we want you to go into any activity and like, I'm playing Crucible and then I get a gun and kind of wonder like, well, what does this do when I take into strikes? And they're not going to be optimized for every activity.
Right.
Even today, we do balance separate parts of the game differently. We want you to build a loadout that's customized to the challenges you're trying to tackle, but we also don't want to go so far that you feel like, oh, I'm just never going to participate in that part of the game.
Right.
Got myself some pretzels, so I'm back.
I'll take it easy on you guys on the next question.
Keep going hard.
Well, let's get a little business out of the way. Is Forsaken and the annual pass getting a price drop? Do I need them to play Shadowkeep?
Yeah, so what we're doing starting today is that everything that we've released in Destiny 2 up until now, so base Destiny 2 game, the expansions, Forsaken, and the annual pass, that's all being bundled together and dropped to just $40.
Okay.
So, and that's starting today.
Oh, wow.
We don't want to require any of that content to play new stuff. Like Luke and Mark said earlier, we want all of our expansions moving forward to be simple and a la carte. So if you like the stuff that we're showing off in Shadowkeep, you can just go and click purchase. You don't have to do the complicated thing like, wait, which pieces of the content do I own and which of these 11 SKUs should I buy?
Right.
And it's the same thing for recommending to your friend. Regardless of how much Destiny they've played, what they own, it's all the same entry point, which is just picking up Shadowkeep for $35.
Shadowkeep's $35. So we're keeping sort of that seasonal pace of content. is that a la carte going to also apply to seasons?
Yeah, so we want the seasons to be a la carte because there were a lot of things that I liked personally about the annual pass, but asking people to pre-purchase $35 up front of a year of content when we didn't even announce what the name of some of the seasons were, I think is not as cool as it could be. Like it's better if you can wait and once you watch the trailer, once you hop in and see some of the content yourself, then decide if you want to buy in. And so each of the seasons will be available. But we also want to make sure if you jump into Shadowkeep, we're not immediately putting our hand back out asking for more money. So Shadowkeep is going to give you season 8 or whatever season it is starting for free as part of that.
So if I buy Shadowkeep in like January and it's season 10 or whatever, I would get season 10 as well.
Yeah, you'll just get that season.
Brilliant.
So you don't have to do the complicated question of like which part of this premium content like do I need to buy? You just jump into Shadowkeep and you're gonna have everything.
Or you could just decide to get season 10.
Yep.
Okay. I guess that kind of covers that question. Let's go to another kind of hardball.
All right.
The community kind of laments the loss of things like new strikes, new PvP maps, and otherwise new additions to what they would consider staples of the Destiny experience. How valuable do you think those things are compared to making new activities? And are we ever going to see stuff like strikes, new PvP maps, and that kind of stuff return outside of major expansions like this?
They're super valuable. I mean, you see it with New Light, like they're going to be the entry point that we want to get all players into and playing together. So they're really important for us, and the team has big lists of things that they want to do. We've tried some of it in the past, like for season 6, we did a lot of Gambit quality of life updates, and there was new maps for it. It's just, again, the challenge with a game this wide is we can't do that all the time. And so we're definitely focusing like season 8, we're coming back to the Crucible. Like we know we spent too long, like we haven't done enough for it. We had a lot of commitments with Annual Pass 1, but now we're coming back. And I think we might not answer all the ritual game in any single season, but over the course of a year, probably gonna touch a lot of different parts of the game.
Right. I hear you guys, I can hear you through Twitch chat screaming, ask about PvP. The question, it's here. It's for a different person, but it's here. Don't worry, I got you guys.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say there is like we tried to change up the formula with Annual Pass and with the seasonal model over the last year, where if you remember before when we did DLCs, we would put a little bit of every single type of content in each one of the drops, but then that meant the whole team was working for months or years on just that, and there would be a long drought of content. And what we're trying to do now is every couple weeks, every single month, we're releasing something and keeping the world continuously evolving, but that means that we can't release everything at the same time. And so we've tried to revolve around and touch different parts of the content, but yeah, and for example, like I think we underserved PvP in the last year. That was a mistake with how we planned out the Annual Pass, and we're going to correct that starting in season 8, and then we want to walk around and touch all the other pieces of content.
Yeah. So would you say that there is a chance that we'll see like a new strike throughout the year with the seasons? Like I don't think
certainly possible. Like we haven't planned out exactly what's in each one of our seasons, but no type of content is off the table. I mean, like I kind of want to throw it back to you. Like what do you think the seasons are missing right now?
Yeah, I mean, again, it just kind of comes back to a lot of those staples of the Destiny experience. The game has grown very wide and just not very tall, which is something you guys are addressing in Shadowkeep. So I think the community would definitely like to see, you know, some strikes come back, a couple PvP maps, even like remastering some Destiny 1 maps, right? Bring back, you know, Rusted Lands and whatever else people want, Twilight Gap. And
they're bringing it back.
So I think people would absolutely love to see that. I guess final question for you guys. Do you worry about being able to produce the volume of content you produced this year without the help of Activision and the other studios?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead.
Community is insatiable.
Just because of time reasons, I have to be ready to go to work in like 45 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead. Peace out. I'll see you guys later, and I can make a full thoughts thing about this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me talk about this, and yeah, peace out, guys.